Congratulations, you've come a long way. Now it's time for us to start our inversions. The first one we're going to do is the handstand from standing. Before you take this any further, I'd like for you to work with a spotter, as I've described to you in my spotting section. The reason for this is any inversion the first time you try it can potentially be a little bit hazardous, because going upside down tends to make you quite disoriented. All the blood rushes to your head and you can tend to get a little bit confused to start with. So have someone there to support you and give you some feedback along the way. Alright, let's start our handstand. This move starts with your back to the pole. Separate your feet a little bit apart. Take your hands to the floor and bend your knees if you need to protect your back as you go down, keeping your hips to the pole. Then step your feet both back from the pole and take one leg up. I like to take my right leg, but you can choose whichever you like. And then place the top of that foot against the pole. Engage your shoulders to keep your arms away from your ears, and then take the other leg up to the other side of the pole. So now you'll feel the pole on the back of that foot. From here, you need to walk your hands into the pole while squeezing it between your thighs and your feet until your chest and stomach comes to the pole, and then you can push your legs up into the handstand position. To come down, we reverse the process. Walk away with your hands and bring one leg down to the floor, then the other one, and you're out. Let's try it again. Standing with your back to your pole, separate your feet. Take your hands to the floor and walk your feet back from the pole. Take one foot up, placing the top of the foot against the pole, and then bring the other leg up, placing the back of the leg. Remember to engage your shoulders all the way through as you walk your hands in, bringing your stomach to the pole, sliding your legs up into the final handstand position. From here, walk your hands out, bring the last leg to come up, down, keeping the pole between your thighs, gently touch down, bring the other leg off, and you're out safely. Once you start to feel comfortable with the handstand, I'm going to show you a few leg positions that you can do while you're up the pole. Let me show you. Starting again with your back to the pole, feet apart, hands to the floor, walk back from the pole, one foot up, the other foot up, walk your hands in, squeezing the pole between your thighs. This is the first position. It's V-legs. Separating your legs, keeping your toes in front of you. Let me show you from the side so you can see the angle of my legs. From here, keeping your toes in front of you. And up. And again, from the front, V-legs. The next position is stag legs. Notice that this leg is already hooked, so I'm going to leave it on the pole, extending the other leg over my head. Keep your toes pointed the whole time. Return your legs to the pole and crawl out, back to your knees, and recover. Now that you've done the handstand, I'm sure you've seen how much focus and strength you need in order to do inversions. So please make sure as you're learning these that you use a spotter. Very important for your own safety. Alright, so the first inversion we're going to start flipping over ourselves with is the ankle hook. It looks like this. You're standing by your pole, pole's at your side. The outside hand always goes on top when you're inverting. Inside hand underneath, notice that my hands are not very high. My hands are only around shoulder height or chin height. This is so that we don't feel like we have to lift ourselves up and then over. All we're really doing is tilting back. So if you think of it that way, you probably won't find it so daunting. Just step a little tiny bit in front of your pole because your hips are going to go this way and your shoulders are going to go this way. Place your hands on the pole The next thing is to create a focus. This is really important. Just about here, which is about 30 centimeters above your eye line, above your eyes, this is where the back of your outside ankle is going to go. Create that focus, look at that spot, and then just tell yourself that you're going to put the back of your outside foot there, and then you just lean back and place it there, like so. The other foot is going to go top of the foot to the pole, bend your knees, slide your hands out of the way, and roll your thighs in on the pole. This is very important. This is your safety check. Your foot grip is not as strong as your thigh grip. You must get your thighs on. To get your hands out of the way, you need to look up and see them sliding out of the way. And then coming down, you release your feet and come down. Inversions aren't easy, so I want to give you a few pointers along the way. One of the main things for you to remember right now is really focus is everything. This will really help you. When you're getting that first foot up onto the pole, what will get you there is focusing on that point of the pole where you want to put the foot and telling yourself that you're going to put your foot there. Sounds simple, might sound silly, but it really does work. You should try it next time. The other thing to remember with focus is just about your attitude before you go up into a move. If you're telling yourself, oh my God, this is too hard or this is impossible, more often than not, you'll find that it really is impossible and you won't get there. So all you've got to do is relax, give yourself a nice simple focus, look at the pole, choose the point where you're going to put your foot, and put your foot there. Easy. Now that you've got the ankle hook, I'm going to show you the bat. All it is getting into the inverted position from the ankle hook and taking your hands off. Remembering that you have to really pay attention to your safety check when you're upside down because you're relying completely on the grip from your legs, particularly from your thighs. Let me show you. Standing next to your pole, hands together, keeping your hands no higher than head height with the outside hand on top. Looking up at the pole, create your focus just above your head, place the back of your outside ankle on the pole. Bring the other foot up, top of the foot, squeeze from the feet all the way to the knees, slide your hands out of the way, bend your knees and grip your thighs around the pole. From here, take the hand that's closest to you, the one that's lowest to the ground, down the pole. It will swing your body in to the pole. Notice that if you take the other hand off, it'll take you away from the pole. So take the bottom hand, bring it to the pole, so you're facing the pole, both hands on. Just make sure that you're focused on your legs here. Feel that you've got a good grip and take your hands off. This is the position. To come out, bring your hands back to the pole, allow yourself to slide down enough that you can reach the floor. Bring one leg down, then the other, and you're out. Try it again with me. At the side of your pole, hands on together, back of the outside foot to the pole, front of the other foot, squeeze all the way down to your thighs. Important safety check. Take the bottom hand down so that you're facing the pole, then the other hand, take both hands off. Beautiful. Hands back on to the floor. Bring off one leg, then the other, and you're out. Great. The straddle takes its name from various aerial disciplines such as trapeze. It's a great conditioning move as well as a great dance move because it uses so many muscle groups throughout the body. It's not easy, so we're going to start learning it from the floor. Try this with me. Come down to the floor next to your pole, like so. Your hands will be one on top of the other, and while you're in the move, your legs will be in a V, like this. Keep the pole close to your body. See if you can lift your hips from this position, like this. That's the hold that you'll be using while you're aerial. And come out. I'm sure you already feel all the muscles that are working for you, and that's before you've even left the ground. The other thing to remember with this move is that to get the best benefits from it and to work your muscles in the safest way possible, you should do this from feet together as a lift. I've seen too many people trying to swing into it like this. You might get up more easily, but you're not using the muscles in the same way. You won't actually be getting the benefit of all the muscle groups that you could be using to lift up, and it's also potentially dangerous. We're going to go into this move step by step. Here's the first step. Stand at the side of your pole, feet together on the balls of your feet. Wrap your inside arm around the pole so that you've got a tight grip between your upper arm and yourself, pole in between. Place the hand on the pole. It should be no higher than head height, probably about chin height. The other hand goes exactly on top. Try not to have your hands too high or you'll feel like jumping up into the move. From here, we're going to lift our knees to our chest, like this. And down. Try it again with me. And down. It's not easy, is it? So this might take a little bit of practice before you feel comfortable to go further. Try it one more time with me. Great. So if you've practiced that and you're feeling comfortable, you want to go a step further, the next step is the tilt back. Let me show it to you. After I bring my knees to my chest, I tilt back and up and out. Again, not easy. It's going to take all of your muscles in here, plus the muscles in your back, which you use by engaging your shoulders, remember? So let's try it together. Hands on together. Bring your knees to your chest and tilt back. And out. I'm going to introduce an exercise to you which I call the reverse straddle, which will help you to land this move much more smoothly. This is really important because one of the most common injuries that I've seen from pole dancing is injuries between the ribs with the muscles, ribs being pulled out because of hitting the ground too hard with the feet from coming out of inversions. So bearing that in mind, I want you to be very focused on the way that you come down out of your straddles or out of any of your inversions if your feet come down first. So the reverse straddle simply means getting up into the position where we were with our hips tilted up and controlling the come down very smoothly. If you're able to lift up yourself, it would look like this. And here's the reverse, slowly coming down, as slow as you can, touch down, as gently as you can. So if you had shoes on, you wouldn't hear a thing. So in the beginning, you might not be able to lift up into the position. So there is an easier way of getting up there, the ankle hook, which we've just learned. So standing next to your pole, look up at the place where your foot's going to go, place the foot there. Use that to pull your hips up, bring your toes together, and reverse straddle coming down. Nice gentle landing. Make sure that you practice this quite a few times until you have a nice soft landing. If you've done all that and you're ready to do the full straddle, try it with me. Hands together, pole wrapped in underneath the lower arm. Engage your shoulders, engage your abs. Bringing your knees to your chest and tilt back. Then extend both legs. And there's your straddle. To come down, nice and gentle, bring your toes together for now. Slowly coming down. For now, keep your legs bent in nice and tight when you come down. It'll make it a lot easier because all the weight is pulled into the center. Later on, as you get stronger, you can try extending either one leg or both legs, and it'll look like this. From your straddle, say one leg extended, and down. Or, from here, two legs extended, and down. This kick is going to use the same grip as we used for the original scissor kick, but we're going to use fan legs. You can imagine that this is like a martial arts roundhouse kick. I'll show you what I mean. Standing next to your pole with the inside hand nice and low, so you don't want to jump up into this move. Palm to the pole, straight arm from the hand through the wrist and forearm, engaging the shoulder. Other hand at about shoulder height or chin height, engaging both shoulders. Engage your abs. You're going to start with your inside leg. It's going to trace a circle over, like this, to the other side of the pole, followed by the other leg, like so. Let's try it together. Hold on, engage your abs, engage your shoulders, and over and over. And it turns you around so that you're facing the other way. So let's do it on the other side. Inside hand is low, outside hand like so, shoulders engaged, abs engaged, starting with your inside leg, followed by your outside leg, and turn. Let's try it again once on each side. Here we go. Starting position, engage your shoulders and your abs, starting with the inside foot, following through to the other side. And again. There you go. Well done. Here's the same fan kick, just using different hands. Let me show you. This time the inside arm will be high and the outside arm at chest height, typical for most forward spins. We're going to engage our shoulders down and back, keeping your abs in, and bring your hips close to the pole, otherwise you'll bang the pole on the way through. So staying nice and close, engaging your muscles, and we're going to do the same roundhouse kick over to the other side. So we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Inside hand high, outside hand at chest height. Engage your shoulders and your abs. Bring your hips close to the pole, starting on the inside leg. And around. Let's try it again on both sides. Starting position, keep your shoulders down and back. Hips into the pole, starting on the inside leg. And through. And the other side. Let's try this first from the ground. Come down next to your pole with your inside hand on like so and the pole underneath the arm here. Outside hand goes exactly on top. We're going to get into this move through a straddle. So straddle, hook the outside leg, which as you can see is this leg, over the pole. The pole should be exactly behind the knee. So take a moment to adjust the knee until you have the pole right in there behind the knee. When we did knee hangs in trapeze, we're always taught to treat the knee as a third hand. So I want you to remember that and try to get as great a grip as you can, because this grip is the key to this move. Now I want you to look at your foot. The foot should not be pointing to the ceiling. You don't have enough of a grip here. Parallel is borderline. If the foot's pointing towards the floor, you've probably got a pretty good grip. Can be a little bit uncomfortable at first, so it might take a while to get used to the feeling of gripping that tight behind the knee. Once you've got that, you can try taking one hand off, which will be the outside hand, or the top hand, out to the side. In the full position, you have both hands off, and you're relying on the grip between your knee, the side of your body, and the back of that arm. To come out, we go back through a straddle. So the hands go back on, legs off, and out. If you're feeling ready, come up with me. Standing next to your pole, hands together, pole under the arm. We're going to straddle first of all, and then hook the outside leg over the pole as tightly behind the knee as possible, pointing that foot towards the floor as much as you can. This might take a while to get used to, so don't feel you've got to go any further until you've got that position there. Notice that the other leg is away from me, over there. If it's up in the air, you're going to feel like going towards the floor. Once you extend that leg out, you'll find a balance where you feel more comfortable. If you want to take one hand off, take the top hand off, out to the side. And if you're all right there, take the other hand off. Notice that I have a few points of contact here, here, and behind my arm. 3 points holding me on. And we're going to come out first of all through a straddle, taking the legs off, and coming out. There are a couple of other ways of coming out of the Scorpio, so I'll show them to you now and you can decide which one you prefer. The first one we're going to do is the climb above. From your Scorpio, so from here, you need to replace the inside hand first of all on the pole. The other hand, which is the same as the hook leg, climbs above. So you need to use your abs to get up there. Thumb towards the ceiling. The other hand will also climb above, and then you push the hook leg off and come down the pole gently to land. The second version is to invert. So from your Scorpio, like so. If you want, you can use your hands to guide you. So hold the pole, bring your thighs close in together, and bring your body around to face the pole. I've got a very tight grip on my thighs here. You can extend one leg if you like so, but the hook leg must remain hooked. From here, let yourself come down towards the floor and come into the ankle grip. Hands to the floor and crawl out. If you've already got the Scorpio and the straddle, I want to give you another move that comes out of both of them. It's called the starfish. I'm going to show how you get into it from each of those moves. First way I'm going to show you is through the straddle. From a straddle, you take your outside leg, hooking it over the pole. The next move is to climb above with the same hand, fingers up. The other hand, fingers down, holds the pole with the arm extended. Make sure it's not here. Has to be extended. The bottom thigh presses against the pole. So you've got 4 points on the pole, holding you in position. Extend the bottom leg with toes pointed, and extend the top leg, like so. To reverse out, you must always hook the top leg first, no matter what. Hook the top leg. There are 3 ways of coming out, which are the same as our ways of coming out of the Scorpio. Let's try climbing above first of all. One hand's already on, so the other hand comes up. Push the legs down and slide off. Let me show you the next way of coming out. In position. This time we're going to hook first of all and put both hands underneath that knee. One hand, the other. The body will now hang down, bring the legs off into a straddle, and come down gently. The third way is an inversion, just like from the Scorpio. Let me show you. From a straddle, hook, come up into your starfish. From here, first thing always, rehook the top leg nice and tight. Let the bottom hand slide down the pole, keeping the pole between the thighs. Both hands are on, still squeezing the pole between my thighs. Bring the feet into an ankle hook, hands to the floor, and slide out. Now that you know the exits, I'm going to show you how to get into this move from the Scorpio. From the straddle, hook the outside leg and hang back into the Scorpio. The next step is the inside hand on the pole, outside hand high, inside hand low, thigh to the pole, open up into the starfish. Remember to come out, hook that leg first. I'm going to come out by climbing above. And legs off. Remember, practice makes perfect.